Hi, Equestria Guy here. Today in this podcast I want to talk about Equestria Girls. I'm not used to making podcasts. I'm not really good at podcasts, and frankly I don't really like my voice and my editing skills aren't really good. I have only one podcast on this channel. I released it almost a year ago. 11 months to be more precise. It was released October 21st, 2022. I was talking about The Owl House after watching Season 3 Episode 1. It's bizarre to think that it's been almost a year since the third season of The Owl House started. And moreover, soon it will be 6 months since the show ended. April 8th this year, the last episode was released. If I'm not mistaken, yes. I remember it was really awesome. But let's focus on Equestria Girls instead. I recently had a marathon, my usual traditional marathon of rewatching Equestria Girls every 2 years. I've been doing this since 2017 when I was at school. There is actually so much stuff to watch. 4 movies, 3 mini episodes. I mean, not really mini episodes since they're 22 minutes, kinda like normal episodes. And then there are 5 specials and then a lot of shorts or web series. I mean, there is a lot of stuff, a lot of content, and I want to talk about it all. Obviously starting with the movies, with the first Equestria Girls movie. And how Equestria Girls started in the first place. I have a video on my channel about Equestria Girls where I specifically talk about how Equestria Girls started. In a nutshell, Hasbro is a toy company and their rival company is Mattel. And Mattel, they were very successful with their Monster High franchise. They were very successful among school-aged girls. I mean, let's be honest. Monster High dolls are pretty badass, and even I would love to possess one. They're really cool, and I understand why the Monster High resonates with young girls so much. Because Monster High shows that girls can be different, can be badass, can be rebellious, can wear all sorts of clothes, and it resonated with many girls. Even in countries like Russia, Monster High were immensely popular. To the point when local Russian news were talking about banning Monster High due to their bad influence. Really. Hasbro obviously wanted the piece of that pie too. So they kinda came up with their own an idea for magical high school girls toy line like Monster High, which they called Equestria Girls. Equestria Girls name came from the music video released in 2011. It was a parody of Katy Perry's California Girls. It was one of the biggest hits of the early 2010s, and Hasbro kinda made a parody. DHX Media kinda made a parody called Equestria Girls. So 2 years later, this name was used for the movie about human versions of My Little Pony characters. Hasbro actually could start something new setting, new characters, new property. But Hasbro was like, why would we create something new when we already have a super popular franchise on our hands? My Little Pony has always been popular, since creation. But after Friendship is Magic started, the popularity just skyrocketed among kids, among teenagers, among adults. Many adults loved the show. And I love the show too. The show is fantastic in many ways. The show gained unexpected popularity. It was super popular in early 2010. So Hasbro just took pony characters and turned them into teenage human girls. That's what they basically did. That was their version of Monster High. Speaking of the movie, I I really don't like the movie. You see, animation is poor. The story is poor. Speaking of animation, they use the same flash animation as they used for Friendship is Magic characters. You know, these big heads, big eyes, this flash animation. If you're familiar with flash animation, is this specific animating technique. The flash animation was really good for pony characters. However, with human characters, that didn't work all that well. You see, the heads were too big, and the models of the characters were honestly not rotatable, because only front side of the characters looked kinda nice. Back side looked absolutely terrible. When characters turned, the animation, the character design, the character did not really look good because of this disproportion of, bodies, huge legs, huge heads. This is one of the reasons I can't fully enjoy the first Equestria Girls movie, or the movies in general. They all have this. Yeah. And about the story absolutely did not make any sense. Like, Sunset Shimmer stole Twilight's crown, and Twilight followed her into a human dimension. In a human world, Twilight, who is obviously not a high schooler, who is not a teenager, who is a young adult. She's pretty old. I would give her around 22, 23 years old in Friendship is Magic Season 3. Since she's already mature enough to become a new princess of Equestria. None of the main 6 characters are teenagers. They have business like Rarity. They have stable jobs, Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie, whatever Fluttershy does for a living. Probably taking care of wildlife, that's my guess. And she's getting paid by the Equestrian government probably for that. Applejack runs her farm. And Twilight is a princess, as I said already. But the characters became high schoolers in the Equestria Girls movie. Princess Twilight became a high schooler. Sunset Shimmer became a high schooler too, even though she's obviously older than even main 6. She was Celestia's gifted student even before Twilight was. She's at least probably 10 years older than Twilight Sparkle. We assume that Twilight Sparkle was 20 years old at the beginning of the first season of Friendship is Magic. Then Sunset Shimmer must be around 30 years old. Must have been. After the third season, in Equestria she would have been 30 something, 30 plus. I mean, I understand that time probably changes, time flows differently in 2 dimensions, in human world and Equestria Girls world, in human world and pony world. It has something to do with the gravitational force of their sun, since Equestria Girls' sun is kinda our regular sun. It's some sorta. It's not really our regular world, but it's made to resemble our regular world. The Canterlot city was made to resemble kind of average North American city. Something in between US and Canada, where the show was produced by DHX Media in Vancouver, British Columbia. So I assume that their solar system is kinda our solar system. But in Equestria, Pony Equestria on the other hand, the sun is probably different. It has a different mass, a different distance between the sun and the earth and their planet, and probably the celestial bodies orbit around the planet where Equestria is located, because magic can control it. Celestia's magic. Just like Luna's magic controls the moon, So that's why I think time flows differently in two dimensions. If we actually think about it, Sunset Shimmer was a grown-up mayor. When she got into Equestria Girls' world, she became a high schooler, a teenager. She became 14 years old since she started studying at Canterville High since freshman year. And you're a freshman when you're about 14 years old. She dated Flash Sentry, who was a teenager while she was not a teenager. This is honestly pretty creepy. If we think about it deep, which we obviously shouldn't since the writers did not care. Twilight, as I said, is a young adult, or maybe older, and she falls for Flash Sentry, who's 17, 18 years old high schooler. Writers really didn't care about this stuff. I also think they did not really like the idea of Equestria Girls. Equestria Girls and Friendship is Magic were born differently. Friendship is Magic was a genuine passion project by Lauren Faust. I mean, Lauren Faust, if it wasn't for Friendship is Magic, she would have created her own original show. I don't remember its name. Give me a sec. Milky Way Galaxy Heroes. Milky Way Galaxy Girls, something like that. You can Google it. You'll find the information. She wanted to create her own original show. She was really dissatisfied with the state of animation TV in the 2000s since she worked in the industry. She clearly saw that all the best stories were for male audiences, all relatable characters, and the stuff that was produced for girls absolutely lacked quality. So she really wanted to change this. And she wanted to change it with her original show. But then Hasbro approached her and offered her to create a My Little Pony show instead. And Lauren Faust was a huge fan of My Little Pony. According to her, she played with My Little Pony toys when she was a child. So she was very enthusiastic about the idea of creating her own My Little Pony show. So thus Friendship is Magic was born. Not just another toy ad, but a genuine creative driven project. It was Lauren Faust's project, just like The Owl Houses was Dana Terrace's project, or Gravity Falls Alex Hirsch's project. Equestria Girls, however, it didn't have any passionate creative vision behind it. It's just, we want our own Monster High. So make us our own Hasbro version of Monster High with My Little Pony characters. And that's it. And I'm not exaggerating. That's why it's so different. The first movie was story-wise bad, animation-wise bad, but the only great aspect was music. Because after all, Daniel Ingram is a very good songwriter, composer, and the voice actors who sing for their characters, they're obviously fantastic. Not all voice actors sing for their characters though. Only Andrea Liebman sings for Fluttershy, and Ashley Bowles, she's also an indie singer. She sings for both Rainbow Dash and Applejack. If you didn't know, she was or still is a frontwoman of a Canadian indie band, Ocean it's called, or something like that. So she's a professional singer. But Twilight is voiced by Tara Strong, but her vocal, but songs are sung by Rebecca Shoyhead, who is a voice actress for Sunset Shimmer, by the way. And I always forget who sings for Pinkie Pie. Always forget. Something Sharon Cannon Chant. I'm sorry I butchered it. I really can't remember. But her voice is awesome. She also voiced Wallflower Blush, by the way. So only music was good. However, In 2014 we got the second movie, which is Rainbow Rocks, which was much better in comparison. Music improved, story improved, the animation improved. In my video about Equestria Girls, I was talking about how animation improved. I was talking about camera angles, I was talking about coloring, shading. It all got much better compared to the first movie. Much more, creative passion was put into a Rainbow Rocks movie. The new characters, antagonists, the Dazzlings, the Sirens were fantastic. Their songs were fantastic. The final battle between the Rainbows and the Dazzlings, it was super awesome, really. Some people it reminded about Scott Pilgrim, and I can see why. The same level of awesomeness. Really, My Little Pony meets Scott Pilgrim with Mahou Shoujo elements. I probably mispronounced it. Mahou Shoujo. It's a Japanese term for manga that focuses around magical schoolgirls, or just magical girls in general. There is soundtrack album, Rainbow Rocks, and there is song Welcome to the Show, but I really don't like how they completely cut this fantastic heavy metal riff between Rainbows and Dazzlings, between their parts. There is a very cool section of heavy metal guitar. It's just really awesome. This is what makes Rainbow Rocks so awesome. It's just so fun to watch. I love it. If you wanna listen to it, try to find on YouTube. It's uncut on YouTube. The soundtrack version is edited. It's not that awesome, but still awesome. Under Our Spells, the montage with different bands defeating each other, it's also just fantastic. I can rewatch it. There is probably one scene in the first movie that I can rewatch. That's Cafeteria Song, but so many moments in Rainbow Rocks. Rainbow Rocks is fantastic. It was a super major improvement, which I'm sure most people did not even expect. My personal favorite movie is Friendship Games, though. I'll explain why. I forgot to mention that Sunset Shimmer as the protagonist is much cooler than antagonist. The writers really did great job with her redemption arc. How she feels consequences of her extremely evil action. Nobody trusts her. Other, students don't trust her because she treated them poorly for years. Her friends, main five, they don't trust her either. They don't even invite her to their newly formed band, the Rainbows. Even if when they needed another member, they didn't even think about inviting Sunset Shimmer. Even Princess Twilight did not trust her at first. Sunset Shimmer feels the consequences. She feels the emotional weight of being responsible for something terrible and earning everyone's trust once again. It's so different from, say, Starlight Glimmer, who was immediately accepted by pretty much everyone. To be fair, she moved from her old village to Ponyville, and ponies in Ponyville did not really know about what she did to other ponies. How she brainwashed others and turned a whole village into her personal kinda pseudo-communist or pseudo-fascist cult. And also almost destroyed Timeline while trying to defeat Twilight Sparkle. She doesn't really suffer from consciousness, does not really, her consciousness doesn't really bother her. She doesn't really see bad dreams about what she's done. And she should have. She was a literal cult, like Jehovah's Witnesses or like Scientology. In a way, she doesn't experience it. Just like many other antagonists in Friendship is Magic, like Discord, for example. Discord does not. Only Luna does. So, Sunset Shimmer's arc was really good. So I was talking about how I preferred friendship games, because I honestly can relate to Twilight Sparkle to Sidewise so much. Sidewise is just a really relatable character to me. You know, she's being bullied, she's abused by pretty much everyone, by other students who do not like her, do not respect her, by her principal who frankly blackmails her. I mean, if it wasn't Equestria Girls and a real world, she would have, went to the police. She would have gone to the police to report about blackmail from her principal. But she did not. She just obeyed Principal Sinch. I really relate to her. She feels lonely. She occupies her time with studying. She's got nothing else basically. She's got nobody. Her own brother doesn't care much about her. She has no one to trust, only her studies, her pet Spike. And she wants to study individually. She wants to leave Crystal Prep and study individually. When I first watched it, it really hit me hard. Still hits me hard though. Plus, Unleash the Magic is an amazing song, truly fantastic song. Love it very much. The Legend of Ever 3, it shows us the consequences of Twilight Sparkle's transformation into an evil entity. She suffers from serious PTSD. She sees Midnight Sparkle in her nightmares. She is afraid of magic. She doesn't want to accept the magic because she thinks magic will once again turn her into Midnight Sparkle. Again, consequences and continuity play a huge role in these movies. Unlike Sunset, Twilight was turned into an evil entity against her own will. I mean, Sunset Shimmer wanted to consume magic and become powerful she-demon, and Twilight didn't. It all happened very violently. I mean, it violated her will. She did not wanna become Midnight Sparkle, but she did. It's like being forcefully turned into, I don't know, a vampire or a zombie and then recovering from it. She has so much emotional weight, fears and stuff, PTSD. This is what Equestria Girls did absolutely right, and I highlighted it in my Equestria Girls video that you can watch on my channel. I absolutely highlighted it. Out of 4 movies, probably Friendship Games my favorite, but objectively Rainbow Rocks is of course the best. It has the best everything. But honestly, 3 movies are good. Only the first movie is not really good. These mini episodes, which were released later, Canterlot High Tales, Dance Magic, Movie Magic, Mirror Magic, they're also pretty good, and I like Juniper Montage. I like her voice. Her voice is very cute. I like her design. This is when Equestria Girls started really changing and becoming more for fans than just, soulless toy advertisement. The 5 special episodes, Forgotten Friendship, Roller Coaster of Friendship, Spring Breakdown, Sunset's Backstage Pass, Holidays and Rep, these 5 are just fantastic. Rewatching them felt like the writers, they just went to random website forums like MLP forum, Equestria Devo, or even on Reddit, YouTube, and read everything that people wanted from Equestria Girls and added it eventually. Like, Starlight and Sunset are extremely similar characters. So, Why won't they meet each other? And they meet each other. Wow. And they meet each other in mirror magic, and they spend time together. And Starlight has a very cool design and outfit, kind of leather jacket, this jeans, kind of cool rebellious teenage outfit that perfectly suits her. And as we learn later in season 8 of Friendship is Magic, she was a metalhead when she was a teenager. So the rebellious style fits her perfectly. In Forgotten Friendship, Sunset meets Celestia, returns to Equestria. They have a conversation. Celestia forgives her. The characters joke. Even Celestia jokes. It was just really cool to see. And I also liked Wallflower Blush, her style, her motivation, how she is tired of being unnoticed, invisible, how she's tired of being alone all the time. Loneliness, honestly. If you experience loneliness sucks. It honestly sucks. Another super relatable character, just like Sideway in Friendship games. Her song Invisible is also very emotionally charged song. I still re-listen to the song from time to time. Always hits me hard. There was leaked DHS media data leaked, and the full versions of the songs were leaked. You can find on YouTube the full version of Invisible. She implies at the end that she would commit suicide. She doesn't directly say so. It's the last line is "Won't be long before I'm gone," which probably implies that she would kill herself soon after revenge against Sunset Shimmer. Really dark. I probably think this is probably why we didn't hear the full song in the special episode. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really sure. In Roller Coaster of Friendship, which was honestly a roller coaster of ship, just ship, because the writers just shipped everyone with each other, except Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie was alone in its entire short. She was just losing her mind by herself in Equestria Land Park, becoming a fun inspector, doing some crazy stuff while no one sees her. I mean, she always does some crazy stuff. That's why we like her. That's why we love Pinkie Pie, because she's really crazy. The writers totally shipped characters with each other. They shipped Rarity and Applejack. They originally didn't want. They weren't meant this to be ship. But but after writing the script, they realized that that the relationship, that the way Applejack feels about Rarity being with spending time in the park with Vignette, it felt like jealousy, like girlfriend feels jealous. And that's how it all came together. So the shipping was the animation, the blushing, the hugs were absolutely intentional. They shipped them. Sunset and Sideway also shipping. Flutter Dash, it was just roller coaster of ships, just to give material to all Bronies shippers out there. Very cool special. In Spring Breakdown, Rainbow Dash, Sideway, Sunset, they got to Equestria, and we saw how Princess Twilight freaked out when she became human. And here we see how Sideway freaks out after becoming a pony. She shouts, "Oh, all my things are horse things," which was really hilarious. And Rainbow Dash doesn't know what to do with her wings, with her Pegasus wings, also cool. Pinkie Pie was lonely and roller coaster of friendship, so the writers shipped her with Sunset Shimmer and Sunset's backstage pass. Honestly, when I ship them now, because they have just so much chemistry with each other, so much cool chemistry. I mean, all main 7 characters have fantastic chemistry with each other, because we know them very well. That's why they have chemistry. It's just so enjoyable to see them doing their mundane stuff. And the last one, Holidays Unwrapped, was just a very nice collection of shorter stories, 8 minutes long stories. When winter related stories, except the third one with Cider Fest, I guess. There are no supernatural elements, mostly no big villains, no threats to Equestria. It's just some mundane stuff, slice of life stuff, school exams, holidays, traditions and stuff, gift exchange, mall. It's very enjoyable to see, and unlike Friendship is Magic, Equestria Girls just ended with something super mundane, super slice of life, super cute. In a way, I'm glad that it did end this way, because it didn't have grandiose finale like Friendship is Magic. Friendship is Magic had a super grandiose finale, with Twilight Sparkle becoming an alicorn princess of an entire Equestria at the end, because Celestia Luna retired. We see that characters grow old, we see that Twilight becomes more like Celestia at the end, and we understand that the story of these characters is absolutely over. They moved on. Friendship is Magic is over, but Equestria Girls, you still feel like they are somewhere out there, still having their cool adventures, going to mall, going to diners, spending time with each other, preparing for school. Equestria Girls still lives somewhere in our minds, and it's a good feeling. What I love even more than the specialists is the shorts. The shorts are amazing. The first season, the second season, the beach shorts. It's so very fantastic. Just watching the characters doing their everyday stuff, hanging out at the beach, swimming, working, Sunset working as a sushi girl, and Pinkie Pie working at a 50s style diner as a waitress, is the cutest waitress in the entire world, no less. And then choose your own ending shorts. I really enjoy these shorts so much. I can watch them over and over again. I'm absolutely crazy because I watch tons of reactions by different people, by different YouTubers on the shorts. I always enjoy seeing how other people see the shorts for the first time. I also enjoy the video series Everything Wrong Right with Equestria Girls. Also super cool. The songs are very cool. The outfits are cool. The outfits changed so much. In the first movie, all characters wore ridiculous boots, even more ridiculous skirts. Like, I really can't believe Applejack and Rainbow Dash would wear skirts. There is something with my voice. My apology. I would never believe they would wear skirts, especially Rainbow Dash, who is an athlete, who is like plays all the sports in Canterlot High. They gave her normal pants eventually. Cool. And outfits became more practical and more beautiful too. And shoes became normal. They just normal shoes, not some huge ass boots. And I already mentioned Starlight's cool outfit and design, and Wallflower's very cool sweater and jeans too. Very good. The songs are nice. Let It Rain, Sunset Shimmer song where she shines, or Cheer You On Flash Century song, when she's essentially saying that how cool that girls are super cool, girls are superstars, superheroes. He's not a main character, he's not a superhero, but he's still glad to be there for them. He's glad to cheer them, cheer you on. Very cool. When Equestria Girls started, I bet most people wouldn't even expect that Equestria Girls would become that huge and that cool too. Many people probably thought Equestria Girls would die out after the first movie, or maybe after the second movie. But Equestria Girls exceeded everyone's expectations. Overall, the impression that I have now is super positive. I love these characters. I love this intellectual property. I don't like the first movie, but with years, with time, Equestria Girls were gradually improving, getting better and better. Rainbow Rocks was better than the first movie. Special episodes were better than the movies, and shorts are better than everything else. Equestria Girls really ended at the highest peak after so many cool short episodes, after such cool special episodes. Wrote less scheduled short when we see Metalhead Fluttershy is just awesome. Or Sunset Shimmer in her really cool Halloween costume. Just so many memorable moments. Overall, I love Equestria Girls. It's a very cool franchise. It didn't start on the best note, but what it evolved into, very enjoyable. Yeah, that's what I had to say about Equestria Girls. Very good. At the end, I loved them even more probably than Friendship is Magic. That's all, probably. I should wrap this thing up because it's been, I'm not sure, almost 40 minutes. YouTube algorithms are not gonna recommend this video, probably. But I talked about Equestria Girls because I wanted to. Yes, even if not many people will watch this podcast, will listen to this podcast. If you made it so far, and thank you. Thank you for listening to this little podcast. If you're new to this channel, check other videos. I write and make some video essays about stuff that I like animation, like books, like video games. Essentially talking about stuff that I enjoy. It can be anything, even science. Yeah, thank you for listening to this. Yesterday I watched the first 2 episodes of Make Your Mark Chapter 5. And today I'm gonna probably watch the rest of Make Your Mark, the rest 6 episodes in Chapter 5. And after that I'll make a video about it, certainly. YouTube algorithms seem to favor my Little Pony videos. And I enjoy making My Little Pony videos. I enjoy talking about this franchise since I have a lot of passion and love for this franchise. Yeah, Chapter 4 of Make Your Mark was pretty decent in my opinion. Some very enjoyable moments, like Bridal Woodstock concert. And hopefully Chapter 6 will eventually be just as good. I said Chapter 6, Chapter 5. The Secrets of Starlight, which is Chapter 6, will be released in November. We'll see what Secrets of Starlight means. Is it related to Starlight Glimmer? I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Okay, it's already too long. Okay, thank you very much and see you on this channel again.